Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. A renewed desire for a super team. Steph Curry excelled on the biggest stage last week, using an explosion to propel Team USA to a late comeback win over Serbia in the semi-finals of the 2024 Paris Olympics, and then hitting a flurry of late daggers to lead the Americans past the host country in the gold medal game. It was a joy to behold, and for Golden State Warriors fans, one of the most enjoyable parts was seeing the rest of the basketball world react to getting to root for Curry, instead of against him. I saw more than one, hell, more than 100, probably, tweets that were some variation of, okay, I understand why Warriors fans act the way they do now. But while that was a delightful sight to see, what I found myself enjoying most about Curry in Paris was seeing him sharing the court with some of the select few players whose names belong on the same mantle as Steph's. It has sometimes felt like Curry doesn't get enough love and respect around the league, but that couldn't have been further from the truth in France. His teammates quite openly not only adored him, but were in total awe of what he was doing. And as the tournament wore on, it became increasingly clear that Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant were not just the elder statesmen of the team, but in a tier of their own on a team brimming with star talent. And I'll admit it, I found myself missing the days of Curry and Durant sharing a court together, treating the rest of the league like the JV squad during a high school practice. Nothing will ever compare to the specialness and sentimentality of watching Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, the homegrown, Hall of Fame trio, reach the highest highs in the NBA. But then again, nothing will ever compare to Curry and Durant taking turns being the most dominant offensive player in the league, toying with opponents in a ruthless, arrogant, highlight-fueled manner. I miss it. I miss it a lot. I want to see it again. The Warriors reportedly checked in with the Los Angeles Lakers at the trade deadline about trading for James. There were talks of finding ways to add James or Durant this offseason, though those discussions never materialized beyond online speculation that is probably based in nothing at all. Watching that trio march to the gold medal in the Olympics was a reminder as to why the Warriors want so badly to pair another star with Curry. Sources: Warriors' next steps after failed Lauri Markkanen trade pursuit. To say changes have been made to the Golden State Warriors this offseason would be a major understatement and a disservice to what Klay Thompson meant to this franchise. For the first time since 2010-11 season, Thompson won't be a member of the Warriors, as he joined the Dallas Mavericks in free agency after 4 different championship runs with Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. A new era of Warriors basketball has begun, yet things seem very different in the Bay Area after the organization's failed trade pursuits of Paul George and Lauri Markkanen this summer. If there is one thing known about Golden State across the league, it's that owner Joe Lacob is always willing to do what it takes to put his team in the championship mix. That was proven over the last several years when the Warriors owned the largest luxury tax bills in league history. Ultimately, winning 4 championships and making the NBA Finals 6 times in an 8-year span tends to remove the headache of these salary restraints. However, a different mindset has originated from the Warriors' brain trust. Instead of going all out to acquire either George or Markkanen in a massive blockbuster trade this offseason, Golden State has begun looking ahead to the future, one that doesn't necessarily revolve around Curry or Green. The Warriors were heavily interested in George prior to him opting out of his contract with the Los Angeles Clippers, league sources told Clutch Points. In fact, a deal was proposed to the Clippers that didn't include either Jonathan Kuminga or Brandon Podziemski, 2 of the Warriors' high-potential young talents. While Los Angeles did not want to lose George for nothing in free agency, they also didn't hold much desire to trade him to a rival in the same division for anything less than maximum value. Kuminga was a player the Clippers wanted in a potential trade for George, which is why talks froze and the 9-time All-Star now resides on the Philadelphia 76ers roster. What stands out about the Warriors is Curry will be turning 37 years old and Green will be 35 during the 2024-25 season. Draymond has already hinted that he could retire at the conclusion of his contract after the 2026-27 season. There is no telling how much longer Curry has left in the tank, as the best shooter to ever exist is still playing at an MVP-like level. This organization still wants to win with Curry and Green leading the charge, which is why they have been aggressive in the trade market and in free agency this offseason, even though they stopped short of putting all their chips on the table. The additions of Buddy Hield, DeAnthony Melton, and Kyle Anderson certainly upgrade the Warriors' lack of depth from the 2023-24 season, yet there still seems to be a hole to fill. Whether or not the Warriors have a true second scorer next to Curry is a major question mark that won't be answered until the new season begins. That was the driving force behind Golden State's pursuit of Markkanen, a player who would not have come at a cheap price. Proposed Warriors trade would move Moody and Wiggins for three-time All-Star. The Golden State Warriors front office had even more pressure put on them to put together a championship-level roster after the Olympics. Stephen Curry showed that he's still one of the best players in the world, scoring a combined 60 points in the last 2 games of the Olympics. After finishing 10th in the Western Conference and losing in the play-in tournament, the Warriors only got better on the margins during the offseason. They lost Klay Thompson and added Buddy Hield, DeAnthony Melton, and Kyle Anderson. Those 3 players are all valuable professionals, but the Warriors lack star power. Greg Swartz of Bleacher Report proposed a trade to help them land another All-Star caliber player. Swartz put together a 3-team trade involving the Warriors, Milwaukee Bucks, and Portland Trail Blazers. Khris Middleton is a better all-around player than Jeremy Grant, but he's also struggled to stay healthy in recent years and had arthroscopic surgeries on both ankles this offseason, Swartz wrote on August 12. If the Bucks have any hesitations about Middleton's ability to stay on the court, swapping him for Grant, who's also 2 years younger, makes sense. The Warriors are essentially swapping Andrew Wiggins for Middleton here, as Moody may not even play much this upcoming season with the additions of Buddy Hield and DeAnthony Melton combined with Brandon Podziemski entering the starting lineup full-time. Adding Middleton would improve the Golden State Warriors, but the Milwaukee Bucks don't have much of a reason to trade him unless they're getting someone back who's clearly a better player. When Middleton is at his best, despite the injury concerns, he's a 3-time All-Star who can put up 20-plus point seasons efficiently. Only playing in 55 games this year, Middleton still had an impressive playoff series while Giannis Antetokounmpo was sidelined due to a left calf strain. Middleton averaged 24.7 points, 9.2 rebounds, and 4.7 assists. He shot 48.2% from the field and 35.5% from three-point range. If the Bucks were to trade Middleton, moving him for Grant, who's also dealt with his fair share of injuries, would be questionable. Over the past 4 years, he's played in 218 games, while Middleton has played in 222. While there are positives to Middleton's game, the injury concerns are warranted, especially for a team like the Golden State Warriors, who might only have a few years left of contending with Curry being 36. Wiggins had tough injury luck for parts of his career. However, he's managed to stay on the court for much of the past 4 years, appearing in at least 71 games in 3 of the last 4 seasons. Although his offensive production hasn't matched Middleton's, Wiggins is still a high-level defender who played a big part in the Warriors' championship run in 2021-22. He was Jason Tatum's primary defender in that final. If the Warriors were to make this trade, there would be risk involved, but Middleton would be a positive addition as a player. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Khris Middleton? Leave your opinion in the comments.